Tēnā koutou katoa. Ko ingarangi te whakapaparanga mai. Ko Otipoti te whenua tupu. Ko whanganui atara te kāinga. Ki Paramata o e noho ana. He Manager Retail and Networks Policy o te Manaheku. Ko Daniel Griffiths au. Tēnā tātou katoa. So just a quick introduction there to say that in terms of an English pepeha, I'm an Otago boy at heart in terms of Otipoti, but Wellington's home, live up in Paramata, and I'm the manager of the Retail and Networks Policy team here at the Electricity Authority, Te Manaheko. So welcome to our webinar on the Electricity Authority's proposal to improve monitoring of the retail market. This webinar is intended for retailers and consumers who are interested in this project or intend on making a submission. Thank you for taking the time to attend. This is a significant proposal for the authority as we look to strengthen our retail market monitoring. The role that data plays in business and society continues to grow. The step up that the authority is proposing mirrors the increased significance of data. As a modern regulator, we develop insights based on accurate data. These then contribute to timely, effective, and evidence-based policy decisions that benefit consumers. Just a quick note that this webinar will be recorded and posted on our website later. Today we will discuss why this work is important by starting with the problem we are hoping to solve. We will then dive into how we are proposing to solve this, and in this section we will discuss our proposal, our objectives, and what information we are considering collecting. Finally, we will cover our anticipated timeframes and next steps and give you information about how to make a submission and engage with us further. I expect this presentation to be about 10 minutes, and at the end we will have time for questions. We ask that you submit these via the Q&A function of the webinar, and we'll be triaging these and making best efforts to answer all these within the session. There might not be some that we can answer on the spot, and we'll make arrangements for those to be answered so that you can follow up promptly, noting that the consultation closes on the 13th of February. To inform our current retail market monitoring, we receive multiple relevant information. Sorry, I'll start that again. To inform our current retail monitoring, we receive relevant information across multiple collection mechanisms, including some that are voluntary. However, we believe that the current collection mechanisms overlap in the collection of retail information, and nor do these give us sufficient information to monitor the retail market. Notably, I'm thinking around retail pricing and outcomes for domestic and small business consumers, in particular information such as arrear levels, disconnections, and fees. Now, the authority monitors the retail market to achieve our main statutory objective to promote competition, reliability, and efficiency in the retail market for the long-term benefit of consumers. We also have an additional statutory objective to protect the interest of domestic and small business consumers in their dealings with the participants in relation to their electricity supply. Such monitoring should also include monitoring of the operation and effectiveness of our consumer care guidelines, which most will be familiar with. We're proposing to streamline our collection of retail data by removing these overlapping requests and replacing them with a single requirement using our powers under clause 2.16 of the Electricity Industry Participation Code. The new proposed notice will be mandatory. The proposed notice will assist us with our monitoring functions and improve our collection by improve our monitoring by consolidating and increasing our collection of retail data. This will give us wider visibility across the industry and enable us to identify potential issues and make well-informed policy decisions that will benefit consumers. We will be continuing our current collections of data while we consult on this proposal and implement any subsequent decisions. It is our aim to achieve 4 key objectives. We want to fill information gaps. We want to consolidate and streamline the data requests that we make. We want to make more information available and to do so at a reasonable cost to those providing the data. Now, what we're proposing is that we gather specific ICP level information on domestic and small business outcomes. This will enable us to create greater visibility of retail market activity and consumer experience. The key monitoring areas that we're proposing to increase in our data collection activities include pricing, competition and switching, disconnections, medically dependent consumers, and consumer care more broadly. Now, by streamlining existing overlapping data collection mechanisms into one mandatory notice, we will, we believe, reduce the financial and administrative burden on those providing data to the authority. We do expect to disestablish some of our current collection methods, such as the retailer financial stress notice and some of the other voluntary requests, once we implement the collections outlined in this proposal. Now, we've proposed that the data should be provided in a tabular format to remove potential misinterpretation issues that could create misleading data. We have attached those templates to the proposal paper and are very keen to get feedback on those templates. We've also heard over time about the need for the authority to be more proactive in publishing the insights that we create using the data that we collect. And I mean that both in terms of the current and the proposed collections. We intend on publishing anonymised and aggregated data to protect commercially sensitive information and ensure consumer privacy. And alongside this consultation, we have work already underway to review our privacy settings and practices and ensure that we can steward the increased data being requested. Now, standardised and secure formats for data collection should reduce the potential ongoing costs for the industry and the authority. We believe following industry standard invoicing and billing cycles will also streamline administrative costs to retailers, certainly after the initial setup costs. We do welcome your feedback so that we can best inform our assessment of the costs and the benefits of our proposal. The key information that we want to gather using the proposed notice is wide-ranging. This list gives some of the areas that we're particularly interested in. Monthly billing data by ICP, which would include plans, fees, rates. This builds a more complete picture of contract conditions and market competition. Half-hourly consumption data, where available, helps us to understand emerging time of use plans, load control, export rates and revenue. Bundling of electricity and other utilities helps us to track the impact of bundling on price, competition and debt. The relationship of switching rates to ICP tariffs is of interest and enhances our monitoring of price incentives and competition. Data on small business, prepay, medically dependent consumers, and consumers in debt enables us to monitor market impacts of subsets or impacts on subsets of consumers, particularly in line with our additional objective. And finally, in this list, the data on disconnections, reconnections and debt management practices, complaints and refusals of service helps us monitor the effectiveness of the authority's consumer care guidelines. So following this consultation, we will use your feedback on the potential costs and the benefits of the proposal in a second short consultation around middle of this year. We expect to make a decision on publishing a new notice before the end of this year. And we have proposed a 2-month implementation window, ideally to be completed before the end of this year. So that's the end of the formal presentation. We do want your feedback on this paper, the Improving Retail Market Monitoring consultation. We acknowledge that this is a shift in the range and type of data collected by the authority. We believe that this is important for our function to achieve long-term benefits for consumers and want to hear your views on the outcomes we're seeking. Also, we want to know whether our proposed notice is fit for purpose and to understand what potential costs retailers might face to complete the proposed request. Such feedback is needed to provide the robust evidence that will inform our overall assessment of costs and benefits, which we'll come out again with shortly after we've summarised the submissions. So to make a submission, or to ask a question subsequent to this webinar, you can email us at retaildata@ea.gov.nz. And there is the submission template provided in the proposal paper itself. Just to note that it is our practice for all submissions to be published on our website as part of the consultation, unless you indicate otherwise. And you can visit our website for more information.